Welcome back to this series of perfectionism when it comes to YouTube. In this series, we are going to dissect all the small things or all the tiny hidden things which are holding you back from perfectionism. Today's theme or topic is that training or coaching is something which might be holding you back. So let's see what we have got today. If you're new here, this is Kunal. Who am I to teach these things? I am a complete failure. Since like 2006, I started my first channel back then. I was with the channel for quite a long time, and then I stopped it. I started it again. I stopped it again. I started it again. I worked with others, and here I am with 15 years of mistakes only because you are smart enough to figure out what should be done if these are the mistakes. So this is me in short, and for living I code and I work as a software developer. My first point is there is nothing wrong with coaching, but the problem is coaching changes in every aspect of life. Initially we are coached by our parents based on what they know, what they are aware of, how they were coached back then or trained back then. So coaching and training are used synonymously, although if they are not, but this is what we all have been through. So for example, when it comes to coach in sports, what they do is they are sometimes very harsh, they are sometimes very precise. So human brain does not work uh, in one line. What it how it works is it's like a molecule structure, or it's like at the center like a nucleus, and then it keeps expanding around it. So whatever you have in this nucleus, it automatically gets applied knowingly or unknowingly 10% or 50% to all other parts and walks of your life. This is what I have personally experienced. For example, I was coached for tennis, and while being coached, the coach was too harsh. I have no complaints about the coach, but what happened is that ideology or that way of thinking, it instills a way of thinking in you. Of course, this is similar to the way playing sports or getting coached for something on a physical level uh, brings more resilience in you, increases your fighting power or willpower for that matter, and all other things which it brings with itself. With that, it also brings this tiny thing with you. So if you have ever been coached, not just in terms of sports but in terms of education as well, like if you don't know maths, you're being coached, that's a different thing. You need training or you need the coaching classes for that. But what happens is sometimes they are too harsh, sometimes there is competition, and you're not able to express your own self. In terms of say mathematics, you may not understand mathematics that point in time, but it does not mean that you don't understand mathematics or science, or any subject for that matter. But later in the age or later in your studies, you are able to make sense out of it. This is because your brain or your mind was not ready to accept those things at that point in time, but it is able to do that later on in life. This is what happened to me. I was very bad at maths and science, uh, but I was coached. That's the reason I scored good, but still I did not understand. And later on, when I started studying on my own, even after college, that is when I started to make sense of things. So my whole point here is coaching might ruin you. You have to go back and connect and figure out whether you have been trained or coached in any discipline or any faculty in such a way that it expects flawless execution, flawless impression. The first impression is the last impression. This is what we are coached in life. I agree to it, but that's not the last attempt to make the first impression. This is how I like to put it. That person's first impression might be something else, but you will always get some different person or some different individual to impress in the same context or in some other context. So this is very uh, hard thinking, and what this does, as I told you, the nucleus example, if you are built with this, it will reflect in all parts of your life. Like if you are good at heart, it reflects in all walks of your life, not just to your loved ones or to your nearer ones. It's a natural way of being kind, and it's naturally to you. You don't decide that I will be kind to this guy, I'll be harsher to this guy. And even if you decide somehow, sometimes even I have done this, But even if you do that, it's in your nature, so you cannot flip it. There is something which is in your nature, you just cannot flip it. Like if you say that from tomorrow onwards I won't be doing this, but still your mind has that, or your heart, or whatever it is inside here, has that feeling that let's try this time. That person might change, and that is the reason there is a whole lot of debate that how to handle people in office, how to play the politics and all that. Keeping that aside, my whole point is, again I'm saying, if you are trained for something very meticulously, training for something meticulously is a different thing, and training or the discipline becoming the showstopper is a completely different thing. For example, doing certain things at that point in time, like training or coaching, gives you discipline of time that you can use in your YouTube videos, but you cannot expect that you have to be flawless. Say for example, you trained for 7 months and you started to become good at certain things, but the real coach, the good coach, they don't appreciate you immediately. They always make you realize you have something more to learn, and that same is true for YouTube as well. So if something you have it, or something you don't have, you always will be getting it later on when you're ready for it, or when you try towards it. What does it mean when you're ready for it? By that I mean, it's not some hocus pocus or some magic thing which is going to come to you. When you start preparing, you take one step at a time, and it starts building around you and automatically uplifts you. This is how I like to see it in my eyes. It is not something which happens overnight. So for YouTube, you have to start like your first day of coaching, whether it's studies, whether it's your sports, or anything, or recipe, or not recipe, I mean, what is it called, cooking classes, anything you can think of, anything you can connect it to, you should be able to move forward and take one step at a time. Now this is very easier for me to say that. Just click the record. Now what I am doing here in on this very channel is that I am removing that very element from myself, or from within me, so that I can make more videos and I can enjoy the journey. It's not about only money. Of course, I'm here for the money. I will not lie stating that I'm not here for the money. But you can also enjoy the process of creating it, and ultimately, you will. Money is anyways a byproduct. I enjoyed coding, so money is now the byproduct of that coding. So I don't have to like slog for money. I like enjoy working in coding. And now, as I told you, I used to work on in YouTube since 2006, where the monetization was also not a problem. The moment you started the channel, it was monetized, and you can put in any video. Now there are lots of things, there is thumbnail, this, that, but uh, still you can make it good or make it big on YouTube. There is no worry about this has been taken, that has been taken. Still every kind of video is working. YouTube is not something who is working against you. It is just the stopping stones, I would say, which are affecting you. Last time I spoke about childhood barriers. Now this is same subset, or it's a subset of the same childhood training, but that was related to specifically to schools, and how scoring and getting good marks. And this is related to coaching when you are in higher secondary or secondary. I don't know when you guys get coached in other worlds, but yes, most of us go to tuitions or classes, or some kind of some form of coaching or training, and that is where we learn certain good things. But these certain good things are only limited to that, and they cannot be applied to other parts of life. You can either choose this particular thing, or you can uh, be mindful of the fact that the sports training can be useful in making YouTube videos as well. But the resilience part of it is only useful, not the entire sports training, like beating other people up, like beating in the sense beating in terms of sports. Uh, that cannot be helpful, because that would keep you on a continuous loop, like the hamster wheel, wherein you have to keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. You don't have to keep pushing, you should enjoy the process. This is what enjoying the process looks like, wherein you are able to create something for others. Maybe this video is not as good, this video may not be well presented, this video may not have all the proper grammar in it, but still I'm trying to do it because I want to do it. I like doing it. I enjoy the process of recording, keeping this lighting, making this cinematic effect wherein you get the splash of light on my head, and then using this reflection of the light and all these things. I enjoy them. Right now it's 10:30 here in UAE, and still I'm happily doing it. Although my face might look a bit smudge or a bit sleepy, but still I'm doing that. Why? Because I'm able to differentiate between what is coaching, what is training, which fields out of it I have to use and which I don't have to, and how I can apply those. And this has come, of course, from experience over the last like 15 years, and that's the reason I'm able to make this video today. And I hope this helps you or motivates to you to make an actual video and keep publishing. In the next video, we are going to talk about perfectionism, but with a take on endless retakes, or how to beat endless retakes and why it comes into picture in the very first place. I hope this was helpful to you. Please ask me questions if you have questions on any of these topics or want to go or dive deeper into these. Please let me know. I would be very thankful, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.